Doing it. We are.
Do I just
cooking
look
with
straight
gas.
ahead like we're driving?
Yeah. Well, whatever you think you're gonna do, you're gonna end up not doing. You're just gonna. This is gonna end up feeling totally natural, and you're not. You're gonna start talking shit. You're gonna be like, "Oh, we're still recording." Oh, you're gonna have to cut that part out. It's every time that happens. Hey, this is In Traffic with Neil Rubenstein. I'm Neil Rubenstein. Today, my guest, the incomparable Sean Donnelly.
Hey, how are you?
We're heading to Philadelphia. Sean's headlining at Helium. Caitlin
Palufo is hosting, and then Steve Rogers is featuring, and your boy Neely is doing a guest spot.
Boy!
And I just told Neil a few minutes ago that I don't like Philly cheesesteaks. And you didn't actually. I was actually worried to tell you that.
No, I didn't freak out. No.
You didn't freak out at all. But I was worried to tell you. I have a weird thing with food where I'm very plain with food. And when I tell people, let people in on that, sometimes they react like I am a monster from the black. Like they lose their minds. They can't believe I don't like certain things. I don't eat certain things. Like I don't put milk on cereal, and they freak out about that.
That's weird. What do you put on cereal?
Nothing. I put
You just eat dry ass cereal?
I don't even eat cereal that much, especially anymore.
Oh, you do eat it out of the box like a
in the
fucking
box.
hobo?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like things are going great. Yeah. Even now,
on the couch, half of it's on your stomach, the other half.
I live with a roommate now, and Robert Dean, very funny comic. And the other day, we got fried chicken from this place, Mr. Chicken to Go. It's so good.
It's by you?
Yeah, it's right by me. But there's a couple of them. There's one in Sunnyside, and there's one right around the corner from our house. So we got them there, and it shows up, and I'm like, oh, and he grabbed the plate, and I'm like, oh, can I grab a plate? And it was my apartment. He's like, yeah. I'm like, do we have any more plates? And he's like, yeah, we got a ton of plates. I'm like, oh yeah, all right. Because we don't have, in all fairness, we don't have like the normal things for a apartment. Like we have a couple of things of silverware, some plates. It's not like a fully functional.
You're two like working comics. Yeah. So I mean, I can't imagine either of you being home for dinner.
Right, exactly. I'm usually out and I get food places and grab a slice or grab whatever. So, but it was funny because after I said it, I'm like, did I really just ask for a plate in my own apartment?
Ooh, can I have a plate? What do you get like a human for like a change?
I know, and then when you do, because like that's one of the things. You know this, but people who are listening don't know.
There's 12 people listening.
All right, those 12 people might not know. I'm divorced now, which is fine. It's amicable, all that. Don't feel bad for me. But one of the best things about living with a woman, especially when you're a guy, I don't know how you are, like, but I'm guessing that you're like me, where like I'm a mess where I'm a mess with everything but food stuff. So like food stuff and bathroom stuff I keep cleaned up.
Okay.
But like my room's always a mess. I clean my entire room and then I got my laundry back and it was a mess in like 15 minutes. Like I'm like that. But then I'll clean it up again. Like I'm aware of it. I'm better than I was.
Okay.
When I lived with my wife, we were together. We probably lived together for like 8 years or whatever it was. Oh my God, it's like you live in a home again. It's like really, really comforting. And it's really great. So when I had that plate, it gave me that little bit of like, oh yeah, there's a way to do things.
I live in a civilized society.
Like George Costanza. We're in a society here.
We just Snickers with a fork and a knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, man, most of my meals at home, like if I'm not cooking dinner for my wife and myself, like if I'm just like coming home from shows, it's just like resting on my belly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like whatever it's very important whatever the restaurant gives you at that point. That's what you're using.
Yeah, if Bigger Ones doesn't put a fork in, well then I'm just pulling egg salad out of the thing.
Oh yeah. One day Mr. Chicken didn't give me napkins. I'm like, what am I gonna do? There's no napkins. I'm like, yeah, buy your own paper towel.
Yo, that's the thing. This is like, I'm gonna tangent here. Paper towel? I feel like paper towels, napkins, toilet paper. There's a redundancy there. You don't need all three.
No.
Napkins you could get for free at the place.
Right, exactly. And you're kind of helping the planet by not
buying napkins.
I don't buy napkins. I don't even know when I was married. I don't even know if we even bought napkins. We bought paper towels. We definitely bought paper towels. But that's what we use for napkins.
Yeah, Kathleen buys all three, and I'm like, no, we're done. We're done with the napkins. We're not buying napkins, and she's on board finally. But it took some talking to.
Yeah, no, I believe that. I think that you don't need the napkins after a while, and then You know, it is everything, and then when in dire straits, everything becomes toilet paper. That's the only reason to have all three. Because I think, you ever think of that, like just the hierarchy? How if you have fancy napkins in your house, when if push comes to shove, that becomes toilet paper real quick.
I have like a fear, like an actual deep fear
of running out of toilet paper. So you buy
always have toilet paper. Always.
What did you Costco?
Yeah, well, my buddy Chris Martello, shout out to Chris. He has a BJ's membership.
Oh,
so like once every 6 months, I'll go with him, and I'll just get like 2 giant things.
How many rolls do you buy at a given time? 100 rolls?
No, like whatever 24 pack.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, I have a 20. Like I don't wait till we're in the last 24 pack to get a new 24 pack.
So you could be like 3 in, and you're like, oh, I'll get another one.
Yeah, if Chris calls me, he's like, yo, I'm going to BJ's, you need anything? I'll be like, yeah, pick me up.
Toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, toilet paper, tuna or chicken in the can.
Yeah.
Because, like, I whip something up for my wife for lunch. And,
so that you always stocked on that?
Yeah, always stocked on that. Always stocked on Annie's macaroni and cheese. Because they have a good price at BJ's.
Yeah.
Clarendon and Flonase.
Really?
Those are the things. That's every trip to BJ's.
That's your list. That's
it.
List.
Yeah.
See, I never was.
And then once every couple of times, I'll get a bunch of Axe deodorants.
Really?
Yeah, it lasts me forever.
See, I can't have Axe deodorants because it fucks up I'm like allergic to it or something.
You know what? I don't. It's an industry secret. I don't wear deodorant all the time. So. Like,
you don't?
Gives my pits like a little break.
But you don't smell.
Well, sometimes I smell, but like I have a bunch of layers on and my arms are down.
Yeah. Why do you do it? Because for that very reason? I think my dad.
Yeah, I got like weird rashes and shit.
Yeah, I know what you mean. My dad, he you can get the Dove has a sensitive skin one you can get.
Yeah, but then that's I don't know. It's a whole other thing. I just keep checking to
see if
make sure we look all right.
Oh yeah. Let me sit up so I don't look.
Too late now, man. No, but yeah, no. Dude, you look thin.
Do I look thin, really?
Like no, just even like when I saw you earlier today.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking good. You're like.
Oh, thanks. I'm trying.
Go to the gym.
Well, no, I'm not going to. When I was going to the gym, when I was in Sunnyside, I was going to the gym like every day, but I was still eating kind of crappy. Now I'm eating. Well, even though I just had Nathan's fries, but
they don't count.
They don't count. Yeah, but I've been cutting back every morning. I've been having for breakfast. I'll have scrambled eggs and bacon, and then just like a little bit of juice and some water. And then I try not to eat for as long as I can, and then I get like grilled chicken, and then in the cellar I'll get like these grilled chicken skewers and string beans. I just try. I've cut out. I don't do soda anymore. Like I had the Coke. I had 1 sip of the Coke. I chuck it. But even that was weird to have. I don't have Coke anymore, and I've been cutting back on bread a lot too. So like,
yeah, it's a killer.
It's a killer. So like the amount of carbs I've had. Yeah, right, exactly. The amount of carbs I've had has like been cut down by at least half to like 70%. Because I was eating like so many carbs. I was having like the morning I would have a bagel with butter with an iced tea, like a sugar iced tea. And then for lunch, I would have like a sandwich with bacon and chicken, and either fries or chips with a soda or an iced tea, like a boiling soda or an iced tea. And then for dinner, during spots, I'd have 1 or 2 slices of pizza with a soda or an iced tea.
But you only eat very specific things. Anyway.
I do, yeah.
Like food's not an enjoyment of yours.
It is, but for those types of food. So like, I'm very learned in the ways of crappy food. So like, if you want to know where the best donuts are, I'll tell you where the best donuts. If you want to know where the best, like where I think the best, like to get rotisserie chicken, where my favorite place to get like these like basic kind of crappy foods. But I'm also not putting tons of stuff on stuff. I don't put tons of cheese on things.
Yeah, you said you don't put cheese on meat.
Cheese on meat. So I don't like.
That's weird.
I don't like the combo.
Is that a kosher thing? Is it like a Muslim?
Yes, I'm half Muslim, so only half the day I do it. But yeah.
Okay.
No, it's just me being. You know what it comes from is like, I was forced to eat McDonald's burger when I was a kid because that's all they had, and they were like, just eat it. And I was like, all right, and I ate, and I hated the taste of the McDonald's cheeseburger.
So now
everything tastes like that in my head. And also, I've tried it since then. Like, I had like a grilled chicken sandwich with cheese on top, and I'm like, I just enjoy chicken sandwiches. The only thing I'll put on top is like hot sauce, barbecue sauce, or bacon, or stuff like that. So like the enjoyment of chicken. Like I'll tell you what's good, where you get good chicken and good bad chicken. Chicken's like my favorite thing.
Well, what about bacon, egg, and cheese? Would you do that?
Now I would because that's different to me for some reason in my head.
Because the egg outweighs the meat.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more meat.
Because I'll do.
Do you do BLTs?
No, I don't do BLT.
You don't do BLT?
No, I do. Bacon, egg, and cheese. I only, dude, this is how crazy I am.
That's the only time I eat bacon is a BLT.
Really?
Not the only time. I won't say no to bacon, but I don't eat bacon. I'll have bacon in things.
I'll have bacon in the morning. But I only started eating eggs like 2 years ago.
Really?
Yeah. Because I never liked it was a consistency thing. I never liked the consistency of eggs. I think that's why the cheese and the meat thing was, because it's the consistency of the cheese.
I think eggs is the Irish person of food.
Just
white. Yeah, it's like different consistencies of plain white.
But like, so when I got into eggs, I got into scrambled, like well done scrambled eggs. I put hot sauce on those things with the bacon.
That's good.
Oh, it's unbelievable, and it's protein. So I just I'll have rye toast. I'll have like a piece of rye toast with it, and then and that'll be but that's in the morning, and then I try not to eat tons of bread or tons of sugar or tons of stuff by the end of the day. I'll snack a little bit here and there, but like I could get better. I'm trying to get better from there. But soda was the biggie. I got to the point where I was drinking soda left and right, even by itself, with no food,
Right.
to where I was only having it with food, to where I was only having a sip and then going for seltzer or water,
Okay.
and then to just when I don't have it at all. And one of the things that helped me was I would get a seltzer with the soda, drink the seltzer first, then the soda, and the soda feels flat. So you don't even want to drink the soda, you just drink the rest seltzer. And then I just associated it. I'm like, oh, if I have the routine of me having the seltzer, I'll keep the seltzer.
You know, I hate the texture, I guess, of seltzer.
Why, it's too carbonated.
It's like
Yeah, okay,
it
I
just
can
feels
see that.
weird.
Oh yeah, texture. That's a thing with me.
But I'm down with soda. I'm way down.
Soda.
Soda's tight.
Have you ever had boiling soda? Boiling soda is the best.
Well, this is alright.
Oh, boiling. Come on, all right. Are you crazy?
No, there's way better.
Which one? Stewart's?
Dude, Stewart's Black Cherry is one of the best.
Boiling black cherry.
Yo,
is one of the best.
We're going to
sodas.
Philly. Hanks.
Oh yeah.
Hanks is a black cherry. Hanks is a root beer.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Well, I'm saying boiling. I don't even know where they bottle boiling. Is it upstate? It might be like
it's
Albany
upstate
or something. But like, it's so good. It's so freaking good. And that when I discovered that made it so much harder to quit soda. But so that's one of the reasons I have all sorts of stomach problems. When I stop soda, I'm fine. I'm like not for the most part fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me, root beer and my love of the black cherry soda is a big problem for me.
Yeah, black cherry is so good. I have a newfound love for black cherry. Their cola is really good for boiling. Yeah, so whatever. So that's where I'm at. Where now I'm trying to be better. So just because I was so unhealthy, if I had any kind of change, I think I started losing a little bit of weight or getting less bloated. I was really bloated. The carbs were like really bloated.
What about alcohol and stuff? I know you're
Well, I cut back on drinking a little
a
bit
big
too.
drinker.
Yeah, I was, and then I do it way less than I was. Way less. And then, like last night, I went out with some girl, and she didn't even drink, but we still met at a bar anyway, and I had like 2 beers. And this morning, I still felt it like pretty hardcore.
Really?
I drank, oh yeah. Like, not a hangover, but like, just more tired than I would have been. Like really slowing you down. So I, like, especially on the weekdays, I haven't been drinking usually that at all. And it really helps. I'm also 40 now, so it's like, that's part of it, you get older and you fucking break down.
Yeah,
But,
man.
and also for comedy, like, from doing these, to put in the terms of comedy, like, what I realized was I kind of it didn't matter, before you start headlining, it didn't matter if I go and have a beer before I went up, because you're doing 20 minutes, you're doing 15 minutes, it didn't matter. But then I realized from doing the road and doing headlining, I would have a couple beers I wouldn't get drunk, but by the second show, midway through, I would get so tired. Like I was already getting kind of burnt out.
Oh, because you've had a bunch of beers.
And I had a handful of beers. And I was like, I wasn't sloppy drunk, but I was like, oh man, getting through this is tough because I'm just out of it because I've been drinking and I'm just more exhausted than anything else,
Right.
So from cutting back on beers, that helped a lot. But yeah, man, I'm just like I'm weird that way. I always think I'm like outside. Oh, dude, UFO. That's a plane. That'll be good for the podcast.
Everything's a fucking UFO to you.
I do that all the time, and I think I threw it with you because I know I'm joking. I did
You're
the other
not.
day. No, I was kidding. I didn't think that was a UFO. I knew it was a plane. But I just want to see a UFO so bad. It's insane. What you call it? So yeah, I do think I'm on the outside of it. Like most people eat tons of stuff. Most people, like I'm better than I was. Like having the eggs, I eat fish. Like my sisters are more plain than I am with eating. Like they don't eat as much stuff as I do. But it is a consistency thing. And my one sister told me, she read an article once, there is something about Irish people and consistency with food. They have like a weird thing with food consistency.
Huh.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. It's like one of those things where,
But like
when I was a kid, and also my dad was picky too. I don't know why he said this. When I was a kid, my dad was like, "You guys are gonna have a rude awakening when you grow up, and you have to go out to eat people and explain the shit." And I'm like, and it's funny because it became an inside joke after a while, the whole rude awakening thing. But it's true that I feel weird telling people, "I don't put this on this. I don't do this. I don't have, whatever."
you have a friend Allison who's no condiments whatsoever.
Yeah, I know people like that. Yeah, no condiments, but she'll eat a ton of stuff, but no condiments.
Yeah.
So she won't put I don't like ketchup. But barbecue sauce I like, but there's ketchup in barbecue sauce. I just don't like the taste of ketchup. But I've tried ketchup. There was only one type. This restaurant I went to once. I went to this burger place and they had their own like homemade ketchup they made, and it was really really good. And I ate that no problem. But I don't like Heinz ketchup.
Like
Mayonnaise I can't stand.
Like Bear Burger makes their own ketchup.
Yeah, but I would try that. I haven't, but I would try that. I usually get at Bear Burger. I get the smoked sauce. It's so good. Smokehouse sauce, whatever it's called. Bear Burger is good.
I like their Firecracker.
What's that?
It's like a duck burger, but it's wrapped in collard greens, and it's got like a pepper jack cheese, and it's got like a hot sauce on it.
Oh really? And it's duck. They make it out of ducks.
Duck.
That doesn't. A lot of restaurants don't serve duck. What's the consistency of duck? I've never eaten duck.
It's a duck burger, so it just feels like a burger.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
It feels like a chicken burger, kind of.
Maybe a little less poultry.
It's like ground up duck.
Yeah, it's a little less poultry tasting than a chicken burger. Moister than a turkey burger for sure. You know how like turkey burgers are kind of dry.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fat content in a duck burger because a duck is a fatty.
Well, I started to get in. This isn't the only reason, but one of the things I love about barbecue, like Texas barbecue, is that you don't have to put anything on it. Like some of the barbecues around the country are about the sauce, and I love barbecue sauce. But I love the fact that you take so much care. That's what I said. My sister got a kick out of it once because I go, if you cook chicken right, you don't need anything on it. It's that good, and you season it and you're cooking it right.
Yeah, seasoning. Yeah.
Seasoning, but also the consistency of the chicken. It's this place called the Lowry. It's in Sunnyside. They used to have the best chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life. It was perfectly cooked. It was the fried part was crispy enough, and the chicken was so because you can get rubbery very 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 fast.
Oh yeah.
And I hate that because I eat a lot of chicken. So whenever I have that, I'm like, that was a bummer. It's not worth it. But when you have perfectly good cooked chicken, well, that's why I love it. When I watch all these barbecue things online, and these guys, Aaron Franklin, the guy from Franklin Barbecue in Texas, he does these YouTube videos, and I thought it was gonna be, I just pictured it being him being obnoxious, but he's not. He's actually really cool. Like he got talk down to the people and all in the videos. He's like, hey, we're just gonna show you how to do this, and he's like totally regular, and he shows how they smoke the brisket. It's so hard to do. It's so hard to do, dude. I don't know if you ever tried that.
Yeah,
you were talking about it. I talked about it with you. Yeah.
Yeah, if you need the proper equipment.
You need the proper equipment.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Well, me and my buddy tried it with ribs, and the ribs came out tasting great, perfect, but the look of them was not what you wanted. Like it was a little too charred on top. But actually eating them was like their meat was fantastic. But we slow cooked those for like I think 5 hours, whatever it was, and for ribs it's like 4 to 6 hours. I think you do that, and keeping the heat consistent. Like we talked about this before, it's so hard to do. It's so crazy. But that's what I'm trying to. That's like we're trying to get a smoker, but like a decent smoker, and then do it for the summer. But we're both so. But he has like kids and stuff, and it's just busy. Like also one of those smokers is like. I think it was like, I don't know, $4,000 or something for like this insane like. But then we were trying to do like, hey, if we can master it or we can get really good at it, do an event. Yeah.
Do an event, right?
I would even team up. I think a comedy show would work. Comedy show /
We talked about that.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's what my food things are. Like I like I'm not like my ex. She like doesn't like. I won't eat like. I'm like. One time she told me she'll just eat stuff because of the nutritional value of it. I'm like, you like that? And she's like, well, not really, but I eat it. I'm like, why? I'm like, why would you eat stuff if it doesn't taste good? That's always how I.
Yeah, I can't. I can't.
I like the taste of. So I do. I love food, but I'll eat very plainly, and then I also.
But you'll have a steak sandwich. You just don't want cheese on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Right.
So I'll get if I get
onions, steak and onions.
No.
No.
I like the taste of onions, but I don't like the consistency of. You know what I like? Cooked fried onions on it. Yeah,
like sautéed onions.
Yeah.
So like you get like a cheesesteak with onions, no cheese.
Yeah, I'd probably just get the steak.
Just steak, plain steak
on a roll.
On a roll, no condiments.
Yeah. And dude, like, there's places like I went to, God, it was like a chain place. I think it was called like Tony something. I went out in, I was in San Francisco. Me and my buddy Chris. I forget the name of the place, but Joe's. Eat at Joe's or something like that. And they have a couple of them out there. They're like these old school like steakhouse chop type places. I got a prime rib sandwich from there. All it had was the French roll and the prime rib, and it was unbelievable, dude. If you roast beef, there used to be the place on First Avenue.
There's
That's
a place
gone now.
in Brooklyn where they like invented the French dip. Car, something. Car.
Oh, really?
Dubin, call in and tell us.
Are you streaming live?
No.
Oh,
my boy Dubin has this place that he goes to. It's like where they invented something.
Is it down in like Bensonhurst or something? Or is
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's the middle of nowhere, Brooklyn.
You know, they have the place now that the guy from Run the Jewels owns. That's in Greenpoint.
Oh, yeah?
Frankel's Jewish Deli.
Oh, really?
Amazing. Better than Katz's.
No, better than Katz's.
Are you crazy? Go. You haven't even gone.
Yeah, but Katz's is like, dude, it would have to be.
Nah, Katz's, you got it. They also not open as late as Katz's, so whatever. They're open till like 5 or something.
Where's Frankel's? Greenpoint, you said?
Greenpoint, yeah.
I'm very rarely in Greenpoint.
I know, most people are. I'm not usually in it either. But, and I'm like, I live right there, right over the bridge. But,
Where's
dude,
like one day a week I'm
Katz's-
walking by Katz's.
What'd you say?
Like at least one day a week I'm walking by Katz's.
Right, exactly. Katz's is good, but you have to catch it at the lunchtime. That's the only time you can go. If you go to Katz's at night, they have the same brisket, same corned beef as the early in the morning. It's really dry.
Yeah, but it's gone. No, the turnover's so fast. The turnover's
Not
so
always.
fast.
Not always.
I mean,
I've gone there a little bit too late sometimes, and it's not been good. Now,
yeah.
granted, Frankel's is like, it was great. Their corned beef is unbelievable, and the rye bread's perfect, and it's just really good.
Caraway seeds in the rye bread.
What?
The caraway seeds in the rye bread.
You mean like on the I don't know.
Because that's what I like about Katz is they don't have caraway seeds in the rye bread.
I don't think they do. I think it's just straight up rye bread.
It's a very specific thing.
I know what you mean though.
I don't like.
You mean
the
on
seeds.
the crust of the bread?
No. Like you know how rye bread sometimes has like seeds in the bread.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't have that. Yeah, you're right. I don't like that either.
I hate that.
That's not too specific. I definitely don't like that either. But you got to go there because it's cool looking too. It looks like a throwback 50s Jewish deli.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. And that guy from Run the Jewels, he owns it.
LP. I'm always amazed when this
Camera.
tripod unipod concoction.
Yeah.
It always looks like it's shaking crazy and it's bending, but
it course corrects it.
Yeah, it always seems to be like it always stays in position.
When did you get that camera? Recently?
A year ago.
Oh, so that's one of the newer ones.
Yeah. It's not the most recent. There's a model after.
So
this.
when you transfer it, does it look fisheye?
Well, this one I'm recording in wide.
Okay, yeah.
But usually I record in linear, and it's fine. But I'm trying something different this time. Because when I record in linear,
What?
I don't want to get too.
Oh, yeah. You don't edit too much.
Yeah. I don't want to have to pull that out. Oh, there's a cop behind me. He's cooking.
Nah. Is that a cop?
I don't know. He's cooking. I'm
Jeez,
gonna
I would
get out of
switch
the
over.
way.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting over, but there's a truck behind me, so I don't know what you want me to do.
You trying to pull you over?
No, he's just cruising.
Stay true.
Fucking dickhead truck off.
Causing. Look, see the sun over there?
Yeah, it looks cool.
Doesn't that usually mean it's supposed to be hot tomorrow? Is that what that means? If the sun is really red as it's going down, that makes no sense in the winter. But
I don't know. But like, what happens? So I just see this guy cooking up behind me. What if I speed up? He's gonna pull me over for speeding. I'm gonna be like, asshole, you made me speed.
Yeah. Then I'm like, no, I didn't. Look, he's a dick. He's doing it to somebody else now too.
Like, if you're in a rush, put your fucking sirens on, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I think there's part of people who get that job that just like the intimidation factor. So he's doing that. He knows what he can do. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He's just doing that to just intimidate people.
I'll tell you right now, if that guy was directing traffic, I'd drive right by him.
You should tell. That's the thing, man. See, we got intimidated by him. But with traffic, you're like, we're just going to make the turn. When we were in the city.
But I wasn't really intimidated by him. I was just like I didn't understand his thing.
Yeah, yeah. Also, when they drive like that usually means they're going to pull you over. You know what I'm saying? Like, when they drive fast like that, usually it's to make you pull over so that you keep going, and then they pop on the lights after you,
Oh, that guy sucked. And you guys all see how much he sucks, because you'll see drive up behind me.
But yeah, that was funny. We were in the Manhattan, and then, I don't know if you want to retell it, but I don't know if we do. I don't know if it's funny. It was so funny because there's one of the people who direct traffic, the crossing guards, not crossing guards, what do you call them? Traffic cops in the middle of the street was talking to some car that was like trying to make a right turn. So he must have been asking, why can't I turn right? And then convinces them, no, you can't turn right. He drives off. We pull up to the intersection, already turning right, and with the window closed, we both go, why can't we turn right? Why can't we turn right? And then as Neil's turning right.
Why can't we turn right? Why can't we turn right? She didn't answer.
She didn't even say a word. She looked at us like we just stole her fucking baby. Yeah. She looked at us like, how dare you? It was like in slow-mo, as you're turning.
I was turning pretty slow.
Because you're like asking, like, if she would have been like, wait, like, would you stop?
Yeah, I would have rolled down my window. Well, I would have maybe not stopped, but I would have rolled down my window and heard her plea. But I was already ahead of her at that point. It was like,
and then we went, and there was no reason not to turn right.
Because the other people were going straight. That's the thing. It was like, I don't know. I said to you, I was like, right, you can make a right whenever. You can make a right on red. Why can't you make a right now?
Yeah, and all they would have done, you know what it is? It's usually because of like an accident or a fire or like something going on. But then they just switch up the traffic things to be like, oh, this will cause better traffic patterns. When in reality, all it's doing is adding 10 minutes to our trip because we just had to go right and then right and then right. I said, if somebody took a picture of her looking at us like that as we're driving, that'd be like, they could just meme it, white privilege, right beneath. That'd be a meme and a half.
I wanted to get you rambling on about just conspiracy theories in general, because you're okay.
Here's the thing, man. I'm not a conspiracy person.
You didn't have to fucking ask a question. You're like immediately in defense mode. You didn't let me.
Go ahead. I want to see.
Explain why you're
not. You have a direct question. I want to hear.
I want you to explain why you're not a conspiracy theory before.
Because when I was in high school, I was really into the JFK assassination, right? Okay, and I read every book about it. Now ask me what I think about the JFK assassination.
What do you think of this?
That Lee Harvey Oswald did it by himself. But I think when people say
no conspiracy whatsoever,
I think realistically what the conspiracy lied in is and I've said this before, I think we talked about this before, the inaction of what happened after he did it was the conspiracy. Because that's why the things lived on for so long. A lot of people in the government wanted Kennedy dead. A lot of people were enemies of the Kennedy brothers, the CIA, the FBI. So there was enemies. It was realistic that somebody would have him killed. But what happened was, just like the way it is now, and the way it happened with September 11th, and I believe this could have happened with September 11th too. But it's not in the technical sense of the word. It's not a conspiracy where it's 5 shadowy figures in a room. Like, okay, so you do this, you go here, you go here. It's not that. The inaction is the conspiracy. So literally, it's just people getting shit across their desk and not acting on it. So it's fact that CIA and the FBI knew about Oswalt, knew he was a nut. They knew that he had issues. They knew that he might have done something, but there was probably, I don't know, back then, probably less, so maybe, 500 other Oswalds they probably had to worry about too. Like, he wasn't the only crazy person in the country, but there was there was FBI agents that knew him personally. He went to this guy James P. Hostie's office in Mexico and the consulate. He was a FBI guy, the FBI office, and said, "Stop harassing my wife." He was harassing his wife because she was from Russia. So they knew who he was, and he threatened them on a lot of occasions. But I don't think they knew he would kill the president. I think they knew that they should have both been on the same page with him. But because the FBI had their own ego and the CIA had their ego, they never touched base and matched up and connected the dots. Oh, Oswalt, let's really keep an eye on him. Oh, this guy, let's keep an eye on him. They never did that. So was there a conspiracy like people think there was? No. But did a lot of people not give a shit when the guy was killed? Yes. And could there something have been done? Possibly, if they would have gotten on the same page together. So stuff like that.
So you are like a conspiracy theory nut, but you don't necessarily believe. You just crave the information.
I think I'm coming from a rational place of realistic things can happen and almost that explain why the conspiracies last so long, because all of the info is not false. Because dude, if you have the minute that Gulf of Tonkin was true, all of them can be true. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That if you're crazy enough, Gulf of Tonkin was for real. That wasn't as big of an incident as it was. That got us into Vietnam. The whole Washington Post, the Post movie thing, that's a good thing. We were in that war just out of ego after a while. That's true. If all that stuff's true and the thing that started it was a bullshit thing, then a lot of other ones can be true, because that's the mistrust of the government started at that point. That's the thing. Mistrusting government it's not a bad way of thinking sometimes. So if that's true, then you can't discount. So if you have a conspiracy guy, maybe 7% of the stuff he's saying is true, you can't discount all of it. You can't discount that part of it. So that gives him fuel to keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I mean by it. I think things happen in a more real world than conspiracy theorists I think conspiracy theorists want things to be mapped out more. One of the most interesting things they found out about the JFK assassination was that, and I didn't know this because I figured it was like, hey, it's Camelot. Everybody was like on board with the USA and all this. But right after he died, 60% of the country thought it was a conspiracy. I thought that didn't come out till later. I thought people were way more trusting of the U.S. and their leaders and their local officials and the But once that happened, that was like the end of innocence, as far as like the curtain was pulled back for a lot of people, and they were like, something had to be up, because they say I think it's like a psychological thing, like when something happens to a mass of people, they need an explanation for it, no matter what. And that happens with the UFOs. People want an explanation for it. So do I. But the realistic way about it is sometimes there might not be an explanation for it, or the explanation is way more real world of an explanation than you'd think. It's just a matter of ineptness, or it's a matter of no information, or it's a matter of inaction, or it's a matter, you know what I'm saying? Or it's just human error that is the reason that you don't know what you want to know. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
You're out on so Kennedy. You're out on Kennedy. Moon landing.
I don't care what
moon landing.
Moon landing. I think moon landing was for real. But I think that there's enough lies that people can believe in that have been proven to be lies. That when people moon landing, I'm like, I think it's not. I think it happened. I think the moon landing happened. But if you read up about the space race and how desperate we were to get somebody to that moon, I could see believing it. I could absolutely see believing it.
Lizard people, you're out on lizard people.
Out on lizard people. That's bullshit to me.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay. No, there's no. But you do believe that there's like an Illuminati.
I think that there's there's a level of. Part of me thinks maybe there's an Illuminati before. I don't think there's an Illuminati. Just like I said, it's probably not that. What it really is.
What we think it is.
What we think is there's a safety in place that doesn't let like Donald Trump get elected. But then when Donald Trump got elected, you kind of like, oh shit, maybe there's no Illuminati. There's no safety net for these old white guys to have happen what they want to happen. But then you think,
but they didn't have a problem with Donald Trump, because Donald Trump does have the interests of the old rich white guy in his heart.
He does, but he's also pisses them off at certain times when he did the tariff thing is not what they wanted, because they're making a lot of money in those.
Yeah.
But anyway, he's kind of but also what's happening now is, if he gets what he wants, that kind of that helps them a lot, and he's kind of whatever it is. So but when it comes to Illuminati, is there an actual group that's like? the UFO world has this group like that. It's called the MJ-12, that Majestic 12. That these guys were the only ones privy to the information of what happened at Roswell. All this, and I don't even think that's for real. I don't think you can have a shadowy meeting. But do I think that there is a club of, like, do I think that the Rockefeller thing is a thing? Yeah. Do I think old money is a thing? Do I think that these guys, like everything, do I think gerrymandering is a thing and that they're setting these things up to advantage of them? Yes. I think that there's a concerted effort by people who have been running things for a while to make sure they keep running things.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you're out on Flat Earth. We know that.
I'm out on Flat Earth. Yes.
Which upsets me. What about, are you in or out on Bill Hicks is Alex Jones?
Is that a thing?
You don't know that that's a thing? Yeah, it's a thing.
They think that Alex Jones is Bill Hicks?
Yeah.
How is that possible when their politics are totally out of whack?
In some instances, but in some instances they're similar. So it's like, people grow and get older and their feelings change.
Oh, right, okay.
And Bill Hicks had like a fan base that was like loyal and would have like killed him probably had he switched.
Funny. People think that he's Bill Hicks.
So,
yeah, I'm out on that. I don't think it's Bill Hicks. Yeah. That's really funny though.
Because like Bill Hicks would have staged his own death and then a year later reappeared in Texas as Alex Jones on a radio show.
Oh, is that how the timing works out?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
The same year, in the 1993 or whatever.
It's like a year later.
Holy shit! But Alex Jones had a childhood, and Bill Hicks had a childhood that you can trace back.
Alex Jones had a childhood.
So did Bill Hicks.
No, I'm asking. Alex Jones had a childhood.
I don't know. But I'm sure I can look it up and find out that he went to certain schools and shit.
Yeah, but like, did he really? You know what I mean?
No. Yes, he did really, because that's not a thing. There's no.
That is a thing.
What's the point of? What is the point of Bill Hicks killing himself and becoming Alex Jones?
I don't know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But they know. He might know.
No. What do you mean that he doesn't know? If you don't know, it's one thing for like.
Look, I mean, I could venture guesses totally uneducated.
All right, Andy Kaufman faking his own death. That would be the ultimate for Andy Kaufman. That makes sense. That's why people believe in that.
Yeah, so I think that's what Bill Hicks wanted.
No, he wasn't. No, Andy Kaufman was like performance art type of deal.
No. But yeah, so Bill Hicks just wanted to get the fuck out. He wanted to ticket out.
But then why would he put himself right back?
Because he got his ticket out, and then he was like, I miss it.
No, there's no way.
No, yeah.
No, I'm out on that.
All right.
You know what I'm in on. I'm deep in on the
deep in on UFOs.
On UFOs, I'm deep in.
100 like.
Well, it depends
You're
on what
deeper
you're
than anyone else.
It depends. Deeper than what do you mean?
You're like
anyone else.
You're the deepest.
Yeah. No, not the deepest.
When it comes to UFOs, you're like 100%.
No, I'm not. What I'm in on, it depends on what the question is. So ask me a question about UFOs.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I believe about
aliens exist.
I don't know.
You don't know.
Oh, do I think they exist?
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Or what UFOs? They definitely either partially or.
That's all. Yeah, no. Do aliens exist?
100%. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
And
I believe 100%, but I don't know proof positive, but I think by the law of averages they have to.
Right. And we're not the most technically advanced creatures in the universe.
I think there's a very good chance we're not. Yes.
Yeah. I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that. But the Earth is definitely the shape they say it is.
Yes. You fucking love this flat Earth thing.
I don't know.
You like assigning yourself to that.
I'm just saying, if we can doubt other things, why can't we doubt this?
Well, here's the thing, man. You have to think of the end game of it. So it's one of those things where it's like, what is in the best interest of them to lie about the Earth? Why can't it just end up being flat?
Because everything that we've been taught would have been a lie at that point. Then we can't.
But there's other types of science that it turned out, like Pluto was a planet, then it wasn't. Now it's a planet again.
Yeah, which is why I think, and climate change was now climate change. It used to be global warming. All that stuff.
Also, like if you look at the moon, even as something as simple and dumb sounding as look at the moon. Is the moon round?
The moon's round.
Right. So if the things that are created out there are that shape, why wouldn't?
Yeah, but the moon might not be a sphere.
What do you mean? You mean an actual
The Earth
ball?
could be a flat, round thing.
No. There's no. I just believe that. No, I don't see. You know.
I'm just saying it doesn't have to be a sphere. It doesn't have to be a globe.
I just think there's so much.
Down the globe-ocracy.
I think there's nothing that you told me that makes me think, oh shit, you're right. The only thing these people are basing these
told nothing.
Because the only thing people are basing stuff on with that is the people that are telling you it's not true, or they're lying.
I'm not saying it's not true.
Yeah.
I'm saying why can't we question it?
You can question it,
but I get shot. Whenever I question it,
because there's so much science. There's science behind it. They have pictures. They have what?
There's science behind other stuff that we end up.
Yeah, then you can just say nothing's true ever. Like you can question. Yeah. Go ahead, question whatever. Question whatever.
This is all make.
But what I'm saying, my belief is that the Earth is round, and that the Earth is a planet, and what they say it is. Because I think there's no. I think when it comes to UFOs, covering those up, there's an agenda there. There's two different agendas there. That makes sense to cover those up if you're the government. So you're coming.
Let's go. Let's get these agendas.
Oh, one of the theories is one of the things that. All right. So I think the old way of thinking is that they're covering those up because they have some diabolical plans for the technology, or they don't want everybody knowing this, or they think that. But I think that the real reason is, I don't think it's that. I don't even know if they have the actual ships. I don't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much to it. My thing is this. I think that the reason that the government denies it is because they don't know. So if you have these things come into your airspace that are monitored and tracked and reported on, and there's radar data and electrostatic data and footage, F-18 footage of these things, and time and time again, and you don't know what it is, and they're operating at a level that is beyond your comprehension and beyond your technological abilities. So, and then somebody goes, well, what is it? And they go, it's nothing. It was an experimental plane. It was this. And you're not coming out and saying it, because if you come out and go, hey guys, yeah, we don't know what it is. And they go, okay guys, great, what do we do?
Panic and freak out.
Panic and freak out. And, oh, how do we stop them? We don't know. And then all sorts of religions start up, because and they're gonna start praying and things. And you know, like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, humans are not that bright. Like, we're not gonna turn around and go, cool, we'll let you figure it out. Like, they're just reactionary. They're just gonna go. Yeah. So if you're the government and you've been hiding this for so long, because there's other governments that don't hide it as well. Like I said to you before earlier, Chile their government released a video. Our government released those 2 videos from the F-18 from the Times article back in the day. And also telling you on tape. That's the reason I got into this. I'm not into this because I'm like, I read a book when I was a kid, and some redneck told me he saw a UFO. I'm into it because the Times said the U.S. government the Department of Defense was studying these things in this Group A tip, which they admitted $20 million for 5 years, but it was going on for way longer after so many years of saying they don't look into these things. So when you have that, and that's a proven lie, there you go. There's a fact right there. They said no. If you were to contact the U.S. government and you said, "What about UFOs?" They would go, "We don't look into it anymore." So then that's a lie right there, because now they're admitting, "Hey, shit, this is proven. This is reported." Harry Reid came out and said it. The guy who worked for the place and his credentials were checked, Luis Elizondo, said it. So they're admitting we lied about this. Okay, so then why did you lie? Why did you lie? Because you're worried about sunspots and you're worried about natural phenomena? No, because you don't know what the fuck what's going on. And so do I. I don't know what's going on either. But I'm so curious to what it is. And if they're more open about it, finding out what it is like, one of the crazy things that I could believe is that especially when it's funded more by the government, that NASA is lying. That NASA knows shit and they're lying, which I believe. But I don't have any proof for that. Yeah.
100% on board with NASA being an embezzlement scam.
You think it's an embezzlement scam?
It was.
I think they're doing. Well, now it's privately funded.
Now it's privately funded, but it was an embezzlement scam for the government.
I think they don't know, or I think they're catching stuff all the time that they can't explain. And I think that even SETI, it's very easy. SETI is their whole project, and they're saying, hey, if we found life, we would tell you right away. I don't think so. I really don't.
I don't think they'd be allowed.
I think that they would. I don't think they'd be allowed. I think they have to. I think there's a chain of command. I think they'd have to.
There's like a whole
report back to their boss, who would be like, "All right, let's sit on this."
Isn't there like a whole committee on like just space junk, just like random stuff that's inexplicable that's floating around in space?
Well, yeah. There's Here's the thing, man. It's like that's the thing. There's a whole committee on that. They're SETI looking for stuff. But when in Chicago in 2000, whatever it was, 15. This girl's really cute. I kind of want to hang out with her. Oh shit! Sorry. I said I forgot.
I told you.
Shit!
I told you.
Can you edit it?
I told you. I told you. I said you're gonna forget
But
that
you
we're
don't
even doing it.
You don't even know who it is.
I think it's funny. I'm gonna leave
You
it.
can leave it in. Yeah, go ahead, leave it in. Anyway, what was I saying?
SETI, Chicago 2015.
So Chicago 2015. Okay, so Chicago 2015. Hundreds of people, 150, 200 people saw a UFO. When I'm saying UFO, I mean they could not identify it. Well, they're not saying an alien was waving from a window. What they're saying is that there's above gate C-17, the United Airlines section of hundreds of people saw this object for 5 minutes hovering above the gate. And it was a cloudy day. It was an overcast day. And it was right below the clouds. And it sat there. And people were taking pictures. Those pictures never surfaced. There's a radio of a woman reporting it to the air traffic control saying, do you see anything on the radar? People are reporting this thing. And they're laughing it off. They're laughing it off. Right? Out of nowhere, the thing just rips through the clouds, goes up through the clouds, hyperspeed, cuts a hole right in the clouds. Planes don't do that. Planes don't leaves a hole. Leaves a visible hole that filled in with clouds. But for a couple 30 seconds, there was a hole, right? Tons of people saw it. There's video online of the guy who's doing the story about it talking to the news reporter in Chicago. This is a known thing. The FAA didn't even do an investigation into it. They said there's no investigation. FAA will do an investigation if there's a fight, somebody kicked off the plane. They told me there's a fight on the plane, there's spilled coffee, from what I understand. I could be wrong about that. So why wasn't there? Why don't you do an investigation into that? If 100 people saw that, you're saying it's whatever they made up some excuse. Actually, I don't even think they did. I think they said it's probably this, and then never followed up on it. So that's what I'm saying. It's very, very real possibility. I'm not saying all of it. And here's the thing, man. I think people tie things together. So what you're doing is, when I'm saying UFO and they saw this, what you're assigning, or people that are listening are assigning to that is like, Sean believes in aliens. He thinks there's a little green guy inside that UFO. No, what I'm saying is, it's crazy to me that happened and they couldn't identify it, and there's trained people who don't know what these things are. That, to me, from that article and from those videos, that's worth like finding out about. I don't see why you wouldn't want to find out about them. These things that come into, and it happens very rarely, but it happens. And people shoot. There was a video online of the girl from there's all these stories that I could just go into that I'm like, this sounds believable to me. This sounds believable because it's all these sober sources that have a lot to lose, like job-wise and like personal life-wise.
Credentially.
What?
And credentially.
Exactly. That guy, David Fravor, who's one of the stories, he's the Tic Tac UFO guy. He has a whole. This guy was. Now, here's the guy. He's on the USS Nimitz. He's in charge of this thing called the Black Angels. There are all these pilots that were piloting these planes, these F-18s. Like 300 different guys, I think, that would rotate in and out to the ship, I think. Unless they were there at the same time, which that seemed like a lot. But I don't know the details. But this guy was a captain. He was a captain of the Air Force. And he's out now. He's not writing a book. He's not making money off this. He's just out saying, what I saw I could not explain. I don't know what it is. And I don't think it's our government. I think it's something else. Now, is he working for the government to put that info out there so people don't know that we have this high-tech, whatever tech's being seen is not, we have it and we're monitoring other countries with it? Yeah, possibly. But that's what it is. But it still doesn't change the fact that he saw it and he's in the military and he doesn't know what the fuck it is. And he's sitting there going, and if he doesn't know, because here's the thing that gets to me is when you have guys like this, because why wouldn't the government, why wouldn't his higher-ups cut him off at the pass and be like, you have to be quiet?
Stop.
Yeah, exactly. He doesn't seem like he's not some, hey, we're going to take down the system, I have my movie, this, that, the other thing.
And no one's discrediting him, right?
Nope.
Huh. I don't know, man. Seems weird.
It's weird, man. It's really weird.
It seems weird that you would be so open. It seems weird that you would be so adamant about the concept of just being willing to listen. And then also so
dismissive. I'm jumping out of the car. No. If this was 3 years ago and we had the discussion, it would be a very different discussion. I would say, hey, I don't know. I wouldn't have looked into it. I wouldn't have known that New York Times article wouldn't have existed. I would be in a different mindset with it. I would be like, oh yeah, I'm like, flat Earth could be the same thing as UFOs. It's the same, along the same lines.
So if someone put out an article, so if someone you respected put out an article that was like, maybe the shape of the Earth isn't 100% spherical,
I would look into it. Yeah, I would probably believe it. If somebody if it was a very sober, not crazy sounding source.
Like Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah, I would tend to. But Neil deGrasse Tyson also, when they asked him about UFOs, he goes, I think there's definitely other life out there. He goes, but Neil deGrasse Tyson is the type that if he doesn't see it right in front of his eyes, right, like scientists, which I get, that's a scientific method. That's good that those guys are like that. But there's overwhelming circumstantial evidence that this thing's a for real fucking thing worth checking into. Now, the questions that you're asking change over time. Is it aliens? These guys aren't saying it's aliens. These guys that are coming out about this, they're just saying these things are in our airspace. Pilots have seen them. People have seen them. They're worried. Like technically, you want to look at the military side of things. It poses a threat to national security
because we don't
know what it is. So there you go. There's a real life scenario. Flat Earth is flat Earth. Flat Earth doesn't pose a risk to our anything. It doesn't pose a risk to national security. But I'm just saying, you know what I mean? You just want the flat Earth to be a thing. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Really, my agenda is more about the no oceans thing.
What? No, you made that up. You're trying to make that a conspiracy.
It's not a conspiracy.
That there's no oceans.
It's just they can't exist the way we're being told they exist.
And why do you say that? This is really crazy. Why do you say...
How... The whole state of California was on fire next to water. How do you not put that out?
That's your logic?
That's one of my questions.
Because I think the fire is so big, and also where it was, I don't think they were right next to water. I think they were... I think the water to the fire.
If the ocean... Right, yeah. How can you not?
Those fires are massive, dude. Those fires are like rolling massive fires.
But they're not as massive as the goddamn ocean.
So how do you do the whole ocean and dump the whole ocean on a fire?
You gotta be able to bring some of the ocean to the fire.
They have things that put out fires. And they were doing that. What do you think? They were purposely letting the fire go?
And then also, how are there droughts if the whole earth is water?
Because the technology to desalinize the water is so expensive, they don't want to put money into it. That I believe is a thing. I heard this.
That is.
Somebody told me that there's a machine. There's a machine that that easily, fucking. That basically rich people, they'll be fine because they'll just take ocean water and turn it into regular water.
Yeah, I agree with that. But why hasn't it happened already? Why aren't we doing that already?
Because we're not at the breaking point yet.
But it's not fucking poor people on the West Coast that are getting their houses.
I don't know. There must be a logistics reason for that. But I think that you know why I know oceans exist? Because I've been in an ocean.
But no. I'm not saying bodies of water don't exist. You've been in a massive body of water, but the way that they say that the ocean exists, like the manner in which they say it's present, there's too many unsolved mysteries there. That's my theory.
I don't know. That seems too many. Because that's all tangible. You can figure it out. What I'm saying, the UFO thing, and the UFO thing's very, like I said, it's circumstantial. We got plenty of time. Oh, where we go? You gonna eat the place? You go to the place now?
Yeah. All right. Wrap this up. It's dark. You probably can't even see us.
Was that a good episode?
That was great. I thought that was great. It's just crazy that, I bet you can't see us at all right now.
Oh yeah, it's too dark now. Yeah.
It just got so dark so quick. But you listen to it on the old iTunes or Stitcher or whatever. Thanks to my guest Sean Donnelly.
Thank you for having me. UFOs are real.
UFOs are real.
Check out Tic Tac UFO. Check out Captain David Fravor. Check out Jeremy Corbell's movie, who is now my own personal friend, Bob Lazar and the Search for UFOs. Just look up Jeremy Corbell. and you'll believe me. Look into it, and you'll think differently at least.
Where should they go to find you stuff?
My stuff, I'm at Shawnee Time on Instagram and Twitter, and Sean Donnelly Comedy is my website, and I have a podcast called Defend Your Movie you can check out on iTunes.
Is that your only podcast, really?
And I have a radio show on Sirius called Celebrate, which I'll have you on. Yeah. Next time I do it, if you want to do it, you can do it. Let me do it next month. You want to do it?
Yeah, sure. That wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. That wasn't what that was. I was just trying to get you to plug.
No, I know. But you know what it is? I'm like thinking. As I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, if you want to do it, you can do it. Because I meant to ask you and then I didn't ask you.
Yeah. So check out that. I guess in a month. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Like, share, subscribe, whatever. Tell your friends. You won't. All right. I guess I can turn it off here.
You put it on YouTube?
I put the video on YouTube and then the video on YouTube and the audio on iTunes. This is being. I just want to turn it off. What's going on? I just want to turn you off.
That's what she said.